Hello and welcome to the Restaurant Show right here on CW57. My name is Ryan Ashker. Stay tuned. We have a very exciting show for you. Jack from Fresh is going to stop in, as well as our brand new friends from the Hops House over in Mount Horeb. All that and much more. It's the Restaurant Show right here on CW57. Hello and welcome back to the Restaurant Show. Very excited right now. We have our friends in from Market Grill. We have Cassandra and of course the ever-talented Chef Joel. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. So we're going to start off with, we're going to let Joel cook a little bit, and we have a crab and kale salad. So talk to us a little bit about this.
All right. This is a salad that is going to be on our new menu that's going to be rolling out on October 26th.
Okay.
It's a Monday, a couple weeks from today, or yesterday actually. So this is one of the dishes that we're going to be putting on there, kind of something a little fall friendly.
Sure.
So what we've got here is a bowl of baby kale, nice and tender. And we're going to dress that with everybody's favorite ranch dressing. Mm-hmm. And I like to use my hands for salads only because I don't like to bruise the greens with tongs. And then, of course, we need to season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper, make everything taste good. And we're just going to mix this up good so everything's nice and blended well. And for the crab that we're using for this salad, we're using two different kinds of crab. I've got both snow crab and king crab for this.
Oh, all right.
So the snow crab, we've picked from the shell. And to do that, what we've done is we've taken the crab and we've steamed it in a mixture of beer, a little bit of lemon juice, some fresh herbs, and of course salt and pepper. And then we'll cool it down, cut the shells open, take the meat out. And then for the king crab, what we've done is from our seafood department, we've gotten little king crab nuggets. Mm-hmm. And it's just little gratuitous pieces of crab meat, and then we'll just pick those from the shell as well and kind of place those on the top.
Okay.
So to garnish that, if I can keep all the greens on there, we're going to use some fresh corn, and then we're going to add what we call a bruschetta mix, and all this is baby cherry tomatoes, red onion diced, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, and olive oil. And that's been marinated and placed on the top as well. And then for the crab meat, what we're gonna do is take both kinds, both the snow and the king, and put that in a bowl. And then I have some little bit of seafood seasoning here. It's got paprika, lemon zest, a little bit of thyme, salt, white pepper. And we're just gonna mix that up. And we're gonna place that right on the top and try and keep everything.
So really with the two different crabs and the tomatoes and corn, and that's a lot of flavor, but it's also a pretty healthy menu option too.
Right, it's very healthy. And what we're doing with this new menu, and this is something that's Hy-Vee has started throughout the company, is we're putting calorie counts with every single dish.
All right.
So for those who are calorie conscious, you can come in, look at the calorie count on the menu, and if it's what you're looking for as far as the caloric intake is concerned, then that would be the dish that you would want to choose.
So that'll let you know how good the food is, because you don't find a lot of places willing to do that, and Hy-Vee is just putting that out there. That's not a rule, that's not a law, that's something they're doing to help you guys out at home.
Right. And to garnish, we're just putting on some freshly shredded Parmesan cheese.
All right.
And that's the dish.
Very nice. That is the crab and kale salad. Now, you said that's coming off the new menu that's going to be coming out October 26th,
right?
Correct? Can you give us a little hint? What are some other things we can look for on there?
Some of the other things, we're going to have a ravioli with a vodka cream and tomato sauce.
I'm sold.
We're also doing a steak and ale shepherd's pie. which is obviously one of my favorites. Love it.
That's a good idea.
We've got a couple new sandwiches. We've got a Rachel sandwich, which is the turkey Reuben. We've got a California burger that has avocado and red onion, tomato, and stuff like that on it. We've got a brisket burger that's going to have some freshly smoked brisket, caramelized red onions, and barbecue sauce on the top. So a lot of good stuff coming on the new menu.
All right, that is October 26th, so knock down the doors over at Market Grill for that. That stuff sounds absolutely amazing. Go check it out. And you know how many calories are on there because they're going to tell you. Now, one of the other kind of unique things that you guys do is obviously you're attached to Hy-Vee. You have all the great food and great drinks and things like that, but also you're now home to watch some good football games too. You guys have the Sunday ticket and some amazing specials that go along with that.
We do. We do have half-price apps and tabs every time there's a game on. And then we also have unlimited wings. We have our Badger Burger, our Packer Burger. We have all of our flatbreads are $6 as well.
Jeez. And see, the flatbreads are great. I love the flatbreads. The wings, she said unlimited wings. She didn't even give you the price on that. That was $12. $12 for unlimited wings during games. You cannot beat that anywhere. And then the buckets of beer, you get 6 for $10, correct?
Domestic, yes.
For domestic. So buckets of beer you can get, and that's all going on at Market Grill. So they do have fantastic game day stuff going on. You can watch any game you want because they do have Sunday ticket. So you let them know what game you want to watch, they'll tune that in for you. And I know I would watch the Packers, as I'm hoping most of you would. If you want to watch the Bears, just go sit in a corner and don't worry. No one wants to talk to you anyway. Besides that, you know, I love sushi, and I didn't like sushi until I started doing the show, I'll admit to it. You guys have one of the best sushi specials around and really good sushi on top of it.
We do every Wednesday. We have half-price sushi and bottles of wine, and you can take the bottles of wine home with you as well. We do have our own packaging to do that, but every Wednesday from 11 to 10.
And that, guys, I'll give you a hint, that is a great date night, and it saves you a little bit of money because the girls love the wine, they love the sushi. And if I'm taking you out, I hope you don't watch this episode, but it is a fantastic date night. No, I'm kidding. My girlfriend and I, we go there for the sushi all the time. It's really good stuff you have over there, and you wouldn't think that from Market Grill, but give it a try. It's fantastic stuff. Go watch your football games there, and the new menu coming out October 26th. Cassandra, Joel, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of The Restaurant Show in just a moment. Coming up next on The Restaurant Show, Jack McGee from Freshie stops in. Hello and welcome back to The Restaurant Show. If you're watching this in the morning or the afternoon, you got to go check out Freshies so you don't get lackadaisical. You don't get tired. You don't get that 2:30 feeling. We want you to feel energized and be able to be the best you can be, and that's why we have Jack back in from Freshie. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Not bad at all. So I'm always excited because I learn new stuff because Lord knows I'm not the best eater, but he's teaching me slowly on some of the things we can do to make that a little bit better. And today we got the teriyaki twist ball, and you're actually going to show us how this is prepared today.
That's right. We had a request to put a little bit more input on how we actually build the bowls here. So
All
I
right.
wanted to show you. This is it kind of rotates with some of our top sellers. The teriyaki twist was actually our #1 seller out of the gate. Then we had the pangoa, the Mediterranean, and things always go in cycles. So now the teriyaki twist again is in the lead.
See, out of all of them you brought in, I think this is probably the one I'm more inclined to go to because I love the teriyaki with teriyaki and rice. It just goes together for me.
It's a delicious combination. Besides the regular way, I'll also put a shout out for my good friend Jay Moulier at Burnt CPA.
Okay.
He's the one that showed us about doing the teriyaki twist tossed. Usually we just did that with the salads. He requested it in the bowl, and then you get everything jumbled together. And you don't have to do it yourself with
That
the fork.
sounds good
So
too.
Just putting it out there for everybody that it's a great option.
All right.
So today we're starting out with our brown rice. This is slow cooked rice, and always has the whole grains in there, just really delicious. We're using chicken that comes single source from a farm down in Illinois, so there's no hormones or antibodies. Basically, it's just this side, free range chicken, and people really comment that the texture and the consistency of it is really good. So it's definitely a delicious chicken breast that we're using here. So we usually put on about 2.5 ounces of chicken per serving, and that's what we measured out here today. So we'll just put that on there like so. And then we're using about 4 ounces or so of teriyaki sauce. If you want less, you can always request it. You can just say, cut the dressing in half you like. But we're just covering it with the teriyaki sauce there to let everything soak in.
Sure.
And then so that we didn't drown it, then we put the veggies over the top after that. So we usually put in a couple scoops of our broccoli. So we put that in there for you. And then we've got some edamame, might know it as soybeans in this part of the world, but it's definitely a lot of nutrition packed in there with those guys. Some delicious cucumbers. Most people know what those are, and if you're not a fan of cucumbers, you can always request those not to be on there. We also have some carrots, really good for your vision and immune system. Delicious on any entree. Then we like to put some green onions on there. For a couple of our regulars, they know who you are out there. They always request it without the green onions. So once again, everything at Fresh you can customize or modify the way you like it. And if we start to see you coming in repeatedly, we'll get to know you by name and what your orders are. And you can just say the usual, and
They'll remember it.
Exactly.
Freshie, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, that's what we strive for. I love that show growing up, and coming from a big family, I just always treat everybody like they're family and friends, and that's hopefully how you feel when you visit us there. And last but not least, we put a little crispy wontons on there, put a little crunch, a little texture on there, and all together, voila, that is our teriyaki twist bowl.
Teriyaki twist bowl. Now that probably will be the one I ordered then, because with everything you brought in, that one looks really good to me. I love the teriyaki and with the chicken and everything else. And as you said, what you can do is you can really cater to what you want. You can go, I don't want this. Can you put that on there? Half the sauce. So it's really made to order, made fresh. Nothing sitting in a fridge or sitting under a heater. They're making it live as you come in. And for that, to save some time, if you're busy and want to go in for lunch or especially breakfast to get a good start to your day, you can go online or call ahead and it'll be waiting there.
Absolutely. We can be reached at 821-0209. So if you're having a busy day, maybe you want to bring it in for the office, be the hero, always a great idea. I got a reminder today about how important customization can be. We had a gentleman that was visiting the UW hospital, lives in Wausau, had to make a special trip, had read about Freshie online, decided to give us a visit, shared some of his personal story with me and requested that he didn't have any dressing on there. He had to cut out all the salt. He's gone vegetarian. He said in 3 weeks, from being at the point where he had to stop work because of chronic chest pains, 3 weeks of a modified diet, and he's feeling better already.
Good.
So my point for all those out in TV land, if you know somebody that's suffering from obesity issues, diabetes, and of course heart disease, whether you're male or female, heart disease is that silent killer out there. So if you know somebody that's that you feel should really make some changes to their diet, please give us a try. We have food that's both good for you and it tastes good. If you have any questions, either me or someone on the staff is always happy to help out.
And that's one of the unique things with that. If you do have to make those changes in your diet, you're not cutting out flavor, you're not cutting out quantity, you're just changing it. This stuff tastes absolutely fantastic. The only difference is, instead of being filled with, fake stuff or stuff created in a lab, it's fresh ingredients that are grown right here around us that they put together into a bowl or into a wrap and making a great breakfast, lunch, or dinner, all 3 meals of the day if you really wanted to.
Absolutely.
And, on top of that, while we're bringing it up, you mentioned you can call ahead, or I mentioned that you can call ahead or go online. Catering. So you could be that hero at the office. Instead of bringing in donuts in the morning, maybe bring something else and get the whole office jacked up instead of maybe wanting to take a nap.
For group meetings, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on either platters with the wraps, what we do with called the group salad, where we bring out one of our big salads, like a Cobb or Fiesta salad, and everybody can just grab out of it. Or we can do the salad bar, where we bring you all the toppings and you can build your own.
Fun too.
We've got veggie trays, fruit trays, etc. And like I said, for any occasion, it could be a great option. We'll also have some new flavors coming for our holiday catering menu. And going along with it, on October 20th, we're bringing back the chili. So
all right.
Tastes great. We've got both a vegetarian chili and a turkey chili, and you also have the options to do a chili salad or a chili over rice.
Oh, wow.
So all kinds of ways to get something delicious and warm inside you when wintertime comes.
October 20th, you said?
That's right.
I will be there for the turkey chili. Turkey chili is great. Love the chili, so make sure you check that out. Or give them a try. Lunch, usually busy. That's why you want to call ahead or do that online order. Breakfast, great time to get it. And you brought a couple of them today, but those drinks and those smoothies, those cleanses, fantastic. Work wonders, get your energy better than coffee I've ever had. It works fantastic. So
once again, we're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. If you need any special requests, always happy to help out.
Fantastic. Jack, thanks for coming back.
You're welcome.
Freshie, give them a try. Go check them out, especially with the holiday season coming around. You're not going to treat yourself right, so do it beforehand. We'll be back with more of the restaurant show in just a moment. Up next on the restaurant show, Hop's House Eatery and Pub. Hello and welcome back to the restaurant show. Very excited right now. Brand new participants in the restaurant show and new friends of mine, especially from Hop's House Eatery and Pub. We have Dan and Taylor. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
And I'm excited because they have fantastic food. And we're going to start with a little bit of a mix, not your traditional jambalaya, but something you put together. So Dan, talk to us a little bit about what you got.
Well, what we have here is jambalaya etouffee, and it's kind of a combination of jambalaya and etouffee, two of my favorite dishes.
Okay.
I call it that because etouffee is literally, it translates to smothered in Creole. Mm-hmm. So I make a jambalaya risotto and I smother it in all the other ingredients that would traditionally go in jambalaya, which is 2 proteins that I kind of switched up to my liking, and it seems to be the public's liking too.
All right.
So what we do is we make a jambalaya, which I made this morning. It's a long process. Mm-hmm. So I saute onions, celery, and red pepper, which is a Cajun take on the classic French mirepoix, which is called the Holy Trinity in Louisiana. We use fresh ingredients from local farms. We have some red peppers and tomatoes from Oxheart and Yesteryear Farms right in Mount Horeb. Some crushed tomatoes too we put in there. And that makes our jambalaya. And it when it cools down, it gets into this like thick, kind of almost like a paste.
Sure.
That you can coat. And we do a 3-step breading process.
Oh, wow.
So you coat it in flour. And then you'll do just beat eggs with a little bit of cream. It's called egg wash. And then coat that in breadcrumbs. And it'll kind of hold its shape.
Wow.
And be ready to deep fry. So you can kind of turn anything into a good deep fried dish if you just have these 3 things: eggs, breadcrumbs, and flour. And our finished
Easy
product
enough.
is actually a little bit bigger than that, just because we like to give people a healthy portion.
All right. And that was one of the unique things with you when we initially met, is how local you guys are. Get as many ingredients as you can from the local community and be able
Absolutely.
to put your unique style and your unique blend of dishes together to support the community and also make fantastic dishes.
Yeah, we're all about the locals. We like to support our local sports, our local high schools, other local businesses, and just pretty much everyone in Dane County. If we can help them, I go to the farmer's market and get everything I can. So that is our risotto. We also put pork belly on it, which is actually what bacon comes from.
Yes.
Bacon is a cured and brined pork belly. That's a long process. We just cure this in our own house spice blend for about 4 days, and then we slow cook it at about 250 for 4 hours or so, and it gets that meat really nice and tender.
Okay.
Our pork belly actually has a little bit more meat to it than most, and instead of less of that really fatty, you want to have meat and fat to it. So with our pork belly, we slice that thin with shrimp, and here's our finished product.
So this is kind of that rice ball you're making on the bottom.
Yep.
And then the pork belly, the shrimp, and then what was the sauces? That's what you were talking about before.
The sauce, it has crushed tomatoes and these sautéed in it with a little bit of cream and Tabasco, some Cajun spices. So it kind of makes offsets that crunch of the risotto cake with the creamy sauce, and then you can cut up the meat and the textures all combine really well.
See, I know you're a creative guy, especially when it comes to food, but this looks nothing like any sort of jambalaya I've ever had. Where does that come from, or what makes that?
I was working on it for a long time. I just wanted to do something different, and I kind of deconstructed it into the 2 proteins, like a creamier sauce and then the risotto. And I worked with some risotto cakes at former restaurants and curing pork belly, and I just kind of fell in love with it. Took it apart and put it back together, and it looked great and tasted great too, so we rolled with it.
All right, so I now have my dinner for the night, and I want a drink to go along with it. So Taylor, who's kind of running the bar and things over there, talk to us what we have here today. I see Corbel.
Right.
So I'm going to go with, we're probably going to do something similar to an old-fashioned.
Definitely.
All right.
We call it our hops fashioned. It's a little bit of a different take. I'm just going to slide this out of the way.
Of course it's a different take. You guys
Right. Well, of course. I mean, we have to. And my whole idea is obviously in Wisconsin, brandy old fashions kind of the popular.
Of course.
The most popular way to have an
favorites.
old fashioned, of course. However, I know I'm from Wisconsin, but I do prefer mine bourbon old fashions.
All right.
Not that I don't like brandy old fashions, but I like mine with a little bit of
Just
bourbon.
a preference.
Right. But also we want to bring a little bit of beer into it as well. And we
right.
have a bourbon barrel aged ale.
Oh, boy.
So I had a little thought and maybe throwing that in there. So we'll get this together here for you. First, we're going to start with a little bit of sugar. However, instead of using white sugar, I've seen a lot made with white sugar, I chose to go with brown sugar. This was some advice I've been given from some people that I know that drink a lot of old fashions in Wisconsin. So I went with this. We'll go a little bit more in there.
So you really, to make this creation, you took what most people consider their favorite and took what you consider yours and blended the two.
Little bit of advice. I've been working on it for a few years. Obviously, an old fashioned is just such a popular drink, and I enjoy it so much, and so do other people. But it took me a little bit to perfect this way to do it.
Understood.
And then a little bit of bitters. These bitters are actually made in Milwaukee, which is really cool. So, you know, electing to go with something from Wisconsin instead of somewhere else or you know, anything else. So we'll start with that, throw in our orange and our cherry. To get everything mixed up a little bit, I like to throw in the brandy right away.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? So we'll get this in here. All right. That way it's a little bit easier for me to get that sugar kind of dissolved in there, because that's my main idea, is to get kind of everything melded together right away.
See, that's why I can tell you're a pro, though. You got to look at the bartender's muddling skills. If they're good at muddling,
right.
you got yourself a good bartender.
Oh, I guess you could say that. I don't know. All right. So we'll get that out of there, and then I throw the ice in.
All right.
The reason why I do that afterwards is because everything that's muddled in the bottom,
Sure.
I want it to stay in the bottom. I don't want it to be floating on the top or anything else. I know I'm going to spill ice all over the place.
Little working conditions.
Yeah, that's all right.
Normally it's the two of them. Now they got a TV
Right,
host
right,
in here.
right,
It makes
right.
it difficult.
Of course. So then we'll throw in a little bit of that Kentucky Bourbon Ale. However, we normally have this on tap because we do have 24 tap beers. Whoa, getting a little excited over here.
So 24 tap beers.
24 tap beers.
So
yes.
obviously beer is an important part, as it is called Hops House, and we know that's obviously an homage to Chris and her name too, but on the
Of
same
course,
end,
of course.
beer's all over the place, and it's always interchanging. So there's 24 on tap, and that's just on tap, not counting the bottles.
That
and
is just in
things like
tap.
that
We
as
do
well.
keep a bottle selection as well. Just kind of those things, because I seem to not be able to get everything I want with 24 tap still, which is surprising. But I like to mix it up. So my goal has been to switch out about 4 to 5 a week, kind of get something new in there all the time, especially when those seasonals come into town and everything else. And so far we've been on pace the last couple of weeks,
nice.
so
So-
that's always exciting.
That is our Hops Fashion. Hops
Yes.
Fashion and the Jambalaya I can't pronounce it.
Etouffee.
Jambalaya Etouffee and the Hops Fashion. Now, let everyone know where you guys are located, because you are new, so we might not know exactly, and you got to check them out up in Mount Horeb. What's the address?
The address is 209 East Main Street in Mount Horeb. And you got to go all the way back down the hallway to find us. We're a little hidden, but we're a treasure. So.
It's worth it once you get there. I can speak firsthand. The food's amazing, the drinks are great, and the people are some of the nicest I've encountered doing this show. So please give them a try. We're going to have them back on the restaurant show in just a couple weeks. This is their first go-around. They did a fantastic job. Check them out in Mount Horeb. It is Hops House Eatery and Pub. We'll be back to more of the restaurant show in just a moment. Thank you all for tuning into the restaurant show this week. We want to thank all of our restaurants for stopping by and letting us know some great places to eat in and around the Madison area. Let us know some places you want to see on the show using hashtag TRSCW57 or tweet me using @Ash41 on Twitter. Stay tuned all week long for more of the restaurant show right here on CW57, where you can eat the best, forget the rest.